Hello, so in this video I would like to talk about my experiences with the CE-5 and if you don't know what it is, it's like going into nature and staring at the sky or feeling stuff that is, like alien related and searching for, It's like a uh, close encounter of fifth kind means that it's a human initiated contact in a way, so you invite them and they show you something or stuff. And so I want to talk about my experiences with this that I had before, and also just a couple of days ago I did my first night in the nature this summer, and I would like to do also maybe next to at least but it's not so easy, or easy, well, it's easy, but not very comfortable to sleep outside. And I will also explain why, what was my experiences just last night. So it depends also where you are doing it, and sometimes it can be more pleasant and sometimes not so also the time and stuff. So so let's start from the beginning. And so I got to know about this in 2013 when the Sirius movie went out. Also, I was just also waiting for it, and so it's about also this protocol and doing these contacts in the desert and stuff. And at the end, we're also like other people and groups all over the world like doing this, and there was someone also from my country and also his name there. So I searched him up and then I joined almost like immediately them. Immediately, like next time they went to do this, so I went with them, and it was just 5 people. And so it's interesting that it was just me, like a new person that immediately found him and wanted to. Maybe also there were some others, but only one that really that close that like really going with him and them, like with the group to do it. And so I spent the first night with them, and it was like really interesting because I was into aliens for years, many years, from my early teenage years or even sooner, I don't know. So it wasn't something that I wouldn't be like believing it or something. Definitely I was, but I never thought of like going out and looking or searching for them this way. So I was definitely interested. So that night was somewhere probably in the beginning of June again, like around the time, because it was still cold during the night, and we had a fire. And it was also interesting that around that time I didn't know, but I also started to have like more experiences with the Shayla, and I got to also know her from the other woman that was working with her around the time, but I was not paying that much attention. And also I had a dream once or twice with her around that time. So it's interesting how all these things like come together, and align. And so during this one night, few or at least two interesting things happened. And one was like one guy was, I don't see very well, so it's always nice to have someone who can see better than me. And he was pointing at the sky on some dot, and thinking like, are those like aliens or something? And we were looking, I don't know, maybe not, nothing was changing or anything. And then he started to look away, and I was still looking at that one dot, and I just tried to like send out a thought like, if you are ETs, then light up, please light up. And then I felt like my third eye activated and beamed out like that thought. It never happened to me that I would feel my third eye that way. So it was really interesting, and they immediately lighted up. It was like whoo, and then dimmed again. And I started to like I couldn't tell much words. I was on the other guys, and I was like, that is UFO. And the other guys that who showed it to me, I was asking like where, what, and I was like, "Dude, that you showed me that they reacted." And so I did it, and I thought like, yeah, wait, I will try to ask them again to light up. So again, I did it the same way, like, please, if you are ETs, please light up. I didn't feel that beam of light coming, or the energy coming out of my third eye, but I believe it was just already active, and so I didn't need it to feel it. But they lit up again, and then they dimmed, so everyone saw it. And as they dimmed, they just, I don't know, in 2 seconds disappeared completely. So who knows what it was, but I had energetic experience with it, and it reacted. So yeah, definitely, it seems like it wasn't something like normal or satellite and coincidence and stuff. Then other thing that happened during that night was also that one guy, actually the one from a movie, had also laser, and so there was like a flash in the sky. Probably I didn't see the first one, so yeah, they probably blinked, and then he said like there was a flash of light like there. So we looked there, and then it appeared in another location, so he set this to circle around that area, and then they blinked in a like triangle on the sky, so it was like normal plane cannot do that, and they blinked again, but he didn't notice. We saw it, that it was on a third location, and he didn't saw it, and he was still circling around that old place where they were, and they flashed again, and then he noticed it and circled, and then it stopped, so it was really interesting. They showed like a triangle, and it was like not up in the sky, but more like lower, so it was probably very far. So even like we saw it like a triangle, quite a big, so the distances were probably like enormous, and happening this way also, it gives you like a feeling. Obviously it was something not normal, or coincidence or something like that. So it was another thing, and I think I don't remember more that happened that much, remembering it would be like on 100%, or like feeling that excitement that it was something alien. But then I never joined them again. I probably, something is moving here. I probably have some my own stuff, for doing, or ascension stuff, laying in the bed and vibrating, probably. And so yeah, I never went with them. But it was 2013. I also went on a vacation with my sister, and at night I was always up because I needed to pee at 3 a.m. And once it was really interesting that usually I just went immediately, I guess, into the tent, and once I was feeling like I didn't needed to sleep, or I didn't want to, so I was just sitting there and staring at the sky. It was clear, and then something interesting, happened. Like this, line appears through the sky. It was not. It was like when you see shooting star, but they are usually short. So I don't know if meteorite can scratch our atmosphere that way that it would go across, sky. So I saw that, and also in that one camp we were at. Also, I don't know if it was that night or which night, compared to this, but also dolphins appeared, there. So it was interesting. So it was 2013, then going into 2014. I again met with one guy from that group, but it was completely other occasion. I was invited to natural buildings community in a way, so it was very small, like 2 houses, really just. So it was somewhere in really nature, far away from even villages, so it was really far away. And so yeah, that time that I spent there, it was I think 5 weeks. I guess I was not going out much at night, or when it was just dark. But once, I think because they needed to go sometimes, for shopping for food and stuff, and then getting back. And once I didn't go with them. Sometimes I went, sometimes I didn't, and so it was already dark. And I remember that almost no one was there. They just went somewhere, probably shopping or something, else. And it was interesting. So I was like, yeah, let's try to call them. It is around that time, and so I sent out, just a thought, nothing like special techniques like Stephen Greer is, using the protocols when you do it in a group and stuff. And so I just, felt my energy, send it out, and that was all. I was also using around the time, like projecting like where I was, like showing the map also approximately, because I didn't know really where I was precisely. And so yeah, just approximately. And then I didn't see immediately anything. And when I did this, it was just few minutes. They came, everyone was back and doing stuff, blah blah, around. And then I was walking outside, and actually again this guy, this exact guy, was standing in a door and cleaning his teeth and showing like having toothbrush in his mouth and pointing to the sky. So I was already on a walk, on a way to the door. So it was not like he was pointing and I decided to go. I was going out, and so it was just 3 steps maybe, and I stood there, and also someone else was next to me. So 3 of us saw it, and it was like really, this was, I would say, like this was on 100%, white sheep. It was circled quite big, and it was just passing through the sky. It was like, like when a car is just passing through the city slowly, like I'm just minding my own business, and it just, and I think it made a little curve maybe even. So obviously it was not shooting star, it was not plane, because planes are loud, and that was definitely, even for how big it was, it just looked like quite close. And so it was silent, just the disc, and yeah. So maybe my memory is saying like it was bigger than it really was, but definitely compared to like stars or planets that can shine very brightly, it was much more bigger than those. And so interesting was, again, in that era when I was around the time I was having physical experiences with the Shayla. I didn't know it was her. I just thought it was someone else, spirit energy, just doing something with me and stuff, a human actually. But I was perceiving like blonde and feeling the woman immediately, and yeah, she was giving me like romantic feelings and stuff. But I thought it was someone else, and so something else happened there around this. This was quite confusing. I didn't know like I could feel aliens physically around me this way, and I was very aligned with myself and nature when I was there those 5 weeks, because also when you have natural building, you are always like a grounded earthing yourself. So I was sleeping all the time, really in those energies, because I have some other experiences about like how concrete walls, they are just blocking nature, energies. It's like it's completely blocking it, the walls. And so definitely I would advise that to, I guess, everyone, to get some time off and try this, to be in a nature and also sleeping in this kind of place where you can be always in some way in these energies, and it was magical. So probably that was the reason why it was 2014, I was able to feel her this way. And afterwards I didn't have those kind of like experiences really, or that much. So this was the light ship. So I was thinking later when I started to connect with the ship, like maybe it was even her in the ship, that I called. So it was like 30 minutes after I called them, this appeared. And so I once also wrote it on Viteke posted some picture. It was obviously like a graphic, CG, how is it, CGI. So it was obvious, but still I just got this memory of like I saw something similar really, and wrote that story about seeing this ship, and she, and also like question like, yeah, maybe it was Shayla in the ship. And so she immediately felt like, it also happens to me sometimes that it activates energy inside of you, and you need to give, this whatever is coming through, like the words. It can be just short message, and she felt like from them, like, yeah, that Shayla was definitely in that ship. And then also some long text about that they appear when you don't expect it and stuff like that. And so yeah, that was interesting. And after that, so it was 2014. Then yeah, 2014 also in the summer. This was May 2014. And then in the summer it was August. So again, like next year, I was also on some vacation, and we were also staring sometimes, at the sky during the night, because we were also kind of like camping without tents. We had the tent, but I liked to sleep just normally outside, without any tent. So sometimes we were also watching, and we saw something also, but questionable. But I felt when I was calling them, like to show us something, yeah, maybe they were reacting with the stuff that we saw, but I'm not sure, really. Nothing so spectacular happened, but I was feeling in my third chakra when I was kind of like inviting and calling them. I was feeling my third chakra like a laughter. It was not so strong that I would feel like laughing, but I was feeling laughter in my third chakra, so it was interesting. So that was 2014, then 15, 15, I guess. I didn't have anything happening in 15, maybe I will remember, so probably not. Then, yeah, so I had, then let's skip to, I already am having a conscious connection with the Shayla, having these merges of energies and stuff, and so I'm conscious of our contact and already having quite a, personal, this kind of energetic experiences with her, and blending her chakras and stuff in an intimate way. And then I decided to, yeah, let's do it again. So I went to forest. It was June, again, beginning of June. I thought that it would be finally like a little bit, warmer. But yeah, in the forest, it's still like, yeah, it was, it was sort of a forest, but I still had some space there that I saw out on the sky. But yeah, it was cold, also probably still mosquitoes and stuff, so I basically just, went into the tent that I didn't even put up. It was just like into the sleeping bag and into the tent that was not up, so just I had this, like net over my head. And so I was doing, I was not even staring at the sky, but I went there to have a contact. I had that intention to whatever, to experience. And that night, like, yeah, that was really special, I would say, because I was sleeping, I guess, whole night, and I had a dream. I was dreaming, kind of like partially lucid about stuff, and I will not go into details there, but jump immediately into like I saw myself or felt myself lying on that ground, where I was sleeping also. So it was like astral projection, but it didn't feel like astral projection or something like that. It was a slightly different feeling. And I felt wolf sniffing around my head, and I also was mentioning this in other video. Probably it was like January this year, and it's called like how remembering ET contact can work. So I was talking about this there, and so she was sniffing around my head, and I immediately felt the love and her energy that I knew that it was her. So I was not afraid of the wolf. and also she came with a cup. So it was like, yeah, wolf, but more like a dog, kind of like, that is not attacking or anything, is friendly. So, and the cup, I just started to rub the cup with her. And so it's interesting that this experience, and I know right now that it was physical experience, got translated as I was experiencing it into this kind of like a strange dream, lucid dream, or whatever. Uh, just from a higher vibration, it concentrated into this kind of strange dream. But I was also feeling like my body and everything. So some call it was still out of body experience in a way, because I was having sense of my kind of like some body, dream body or whatever. And then we end up on a ship, and I remember that we were kissing, or I was aware of kissing, and it was all. Then I woke up in the next morning, and I was feeling strange, so yeah, definitely energetic happened there. That was afterwards it felt like we broke up. So I had these moments with her, but I know that when this happened, it just some bigger shift happened, and it's also for good, because maybe it's breakup like a feeling that something ended and we are again bringing it into something new or whatever like that. And yeah, definitely it didn't took a very long time, and we again, like, I had some acceleration with her. So I experienced this, and later, it was like a month later, I was just relaxing on bed and had the vision of the ship exactly on that place and stuff. And I was thinking that it was a physical experience, but later, when I was, looking into my own intuition and channeling and stuff, I am sure that it was physical. And also, I wanted to ask her, like a Shayla, through other channeler, like a rope, and she confirmed. But yeah, it's always like it could have been comfort, because I was, telling that it was it was physical experience. So who knows? So yeah, that was another experience that I had. And next year, so it was 2016 June again, June 2017. I met with someone. We decided to sleep in the forest, have just a trip for 2 nights. Yeah, we slept 2 nights, and first night it was like, yeah, again, we were both like into aliens and stuff. So we projected definitely that intention. Also, when two people like that, and also energetically are connecting, something interesting can happen. You can manifest. So we both were feeling, or he was also saying, like, he was feeling some kind of strange tickling in his energy field, that he feels it when aliens are around and stuff. And so yeah, we put up the tent. It was the kind of tent that is up, like, above the ground, stretched among the trees, so it's like a spaceship also. And so we had that. My hair is bothering me. So we put up the tent. Yeah, funny thing happened there, because I don't know, like, he was not thinking or something. Yeah, we never think, I guess, in this already state we are in. So it's just doing something in alignment of energy, what feels right. As he, for some reason, put the tent too high. Even he had a problem to get in, because in the center is like this small hole, like through which you should get into that. And for me it was too high, and I had like real trouble to get inside. So I was trying to make it happen in whatever way I could. And my technique eventually ended up to be like, I started with my upper body, so I was just hanging there, and then I put my feet like into that small triangle hole. So my feet were inside with my head and arms, and my butt was hanging from the tent. And I was trying to pull. It's not quite okay position to pull just your butt up. It's easy, but the opening was too small, so it was really difficult to pull myself through it. And so I was really struggling doing it that way. And he started to laugh, and he was good in commenting in a funny way. and he said like that I was looking like I was just being birthed, getting birth, or how to say it in English, I don't know, just birth. And so I started to laugh, and I couldn't do anything in that position already, so I made it inside. And then so we were ready. It was still quite light outside, and but it was still like probably after sunset, so yeah, it was something in between. And I felt like they were really close, like it was, so we were among the trees, but we saw the sky a little bit, and I felt like that ship, invisible ship, was just above us, like very close, almost like if it would be materialized properly, we wouldn't see sky at all. It felt so close to me, physically in a way, and energetically. And so we had a good mood and stuff, and then I tuned into them again, this time like I was feeling them also before, but after this incident of me getting into tent, when I focused on them, like if they are there, I just started to laugh so much. It was like I felt like like the whole crew on that ship that was just above us, and yeah, they could see, because like what I was doing, because the tent didn't have like it was just a net over it, so anyone who was up there could clearly see that little hole, and me trying to get myself through it. And I felt like they were completely laughing on the floor there in a ship on me. And so I was having these explosions of laughter. Like I started to laugh, and then I calmed myself down, and then I again remember on that someone is staring at me, old lady. So so sorry. So they were laughing definitely at me, and when I was, I calmed down, and then I again just focused at them, my energy, like, it's almost like looking at someone, you give them attention. So I gave my attention to them again. I started to laugh like complete, like tears, and I was having these explosions of like uncontrollable laugh for like, I don't know, at least 10 minutes or even 15, and he was already like calmed down and lying there, and I was just without him, still laughing about it. It was funny. So yeah, and then we were also joking about. So we didn't see anything. It was even clouds, I would say, if I remember correctly. And we were. I don't know who said it, but someone said that they would be like, while we'll be sleeping, they would come and just walk under the tent and would tickle our butts, because we there is nothing under us, we had just blankets or something, so it's you could feel it if someone would do that. And it was just a minute, I would say. I started to feel tickle on my butt and like a thigh, left thigh, and I was like, okay, it's interesting. And then something probed my root chakra. Like root chakra is perineum, and so there is no hole there, but the probing was so physicalized, or felt so precise in a way and intense, that it felt like physical probing. It was not painful, but I felt like really like a rod coming into me, like at least like this long. And so it was interesting, and I knew that I was of course not probed in a physical way, or partially, I don't know, semi-physical way. And so it was interesting, and it was, yeah, as I said, not painful, but this something like this can be also painful if you have some kind of blockage there. And so I had some experience with the Shayla, that when she also was probing me sometimes, that it caused me pain, and then she pulled away immediately. And so yeah, it can happen, so this time it was not painful or anything, but it somehow turned on some, like my crosses, or how like lower back, some, I don't know, some opening there, and I was receiving energy through that spot. And it was, I don't know, it's hard to explain what energy it was, or what type, or whatever, but it was going into my body. And it was also not properly spreading through my body, so it was giving me like these shocks, you know. And so I felt this every few seconds, you know. I was like thinking, like, I know like what I would do if I would be alone about this. So I was just trying to, maybe I will try to do it other way this time. And I was just trying to relax. But when I was relaxing, that energy there just, it opened up that portal or whatever, and energy that was entering me through that spot was just amplified, and I was having, in a way, even more like this, you know, like a, you know, through her whole body, you know, you just shake in a way. And I was, you know, I didn't know what to do. And that was uncomfortable, of course, not painful or anything, but yeah, I don't like this kind of experiences when you know, I knew that it just, you know, not properly spreading through my body, because I was probably some way anxious, you know, my energy field or something. And so I asked him like if I can do my thing, and yeah, so that ended up to be also very funny experience. And I ended up, when I was able to have the blast in a way of energy, I'm not going to say what I did, but through me. And so it could spread out, but the energy was just shooting up in a way that, because he was making jokes again, the first time I felt it that strong in my third chakra, because third chakra is like the source of also of confidence, but the laughter, you know. And so I was laughing, and then when I had this outburst of energy, it's first time the third chakra was this involved, and it immediately I started to laugh so hard, and then it turned into crying. I was crying like hell, like really someone killed Shayla and all my hybrid children, you know. And I was completely desperate. It's that kind of crying, you know, like completely, you you know, you know, miserable. And then he was like asking me, "Are you laughing or crying?" Like, I'm crying, but I was laughing. I was completely, you know, like this. So yeah, and then I calmed down, and I started to laugh, and when I started to laugh, and again it turned into crying, like so much. It was, oh my god. So yeah, I had some intense experiences with this, and so yeah, that was last time when I did night in the nature. So it was 2017, and then yeah, 2018 nothing. Now it's 2019, and so was, you know, just some days ago I had another, you know, time in the nature. And so I was, yeah, be expecting something like this to happen more, but nothing much that happened. And what well, it was still intense, because I met animals, you know. I hear some noises there. And yeah, so I met one deer that I know, a female. I guess it's the same one I saw also other times. So this time it was funny. I went up the hill, and oh, those noises! It's a golf, you know, field there. I guess that's what I'm hearing. So I when I was going up, I didn't see her because grass was there like really tall, like under my, you know, probably here somewhere like this height, and you know I'm more than average tall, so it's quite high. And she is not so tall, you know. Actually, yeah, I know how tall she is, because during the night she was very close, so I know how tall she was. And I guess she's even shorter than me, like yeah, maybe like this towards me. So she's not very big, and so it was very easy for her to be hidden in that grass. So she was sitting there or laying down, and I was walking on a path, and she was sitting very close to that path, and I didn't see her. Sun was shining there, and so I was walking very energetically, and then I wanted to. So she was not so afraid, but still alert about me, and then I decided to wave around my head with my hands to, get rid of mosquitoes or flies or whatever that was. And it was at the spot when I was closest to her, so she was like really. I was thinking about telling you like more universal measurement, like 3 meters approximately. That could be like sort of 3 meters is like maybe 2 humans, I'd say, yeah, or so, and so yeah, maybe three grays in a way. So it's just very short distance it was, and she just got scared of me and jumped out of the grass and just ran away. And, I didn't even see her. Like I just saw or I heard like something just move out of it, like big, and and then I saw her like she was already away. It's like okay, it was there, okay. And then I went. It was I don't know, maybe 200 meters away. Then I went up the hill, and then I had this place where I wanted to sleep. And then I just prepared there that I was laying down and so on. And even when I was going up there, I was at some moments, smelling poops, and so yeah, whatever. So all these animals are, there. And so yeah, I was also afraid a little bit of pigs, but I don't know, I didn't really saw many of them, or didn't encounter them, just deers, in our forest. So I don't know. And so it was already after sunset. Sky, I was already starting seeing some some stars, but not enough, and it was still like, I don't know, hour it would take, like I would see it much better. So I was like, I will have a nap. And so I was trying to relax. I was not sleeping, just relaxing, feeling my energy field. If I wouldn't feel Shayla, of course I invited her on a date before that. And so yeah, also funny thing was that when sun was setting and I was just waiting, there, doing nothing, like maybe just meditating or something, but just being relaxed, I started to hear in my mind the song from Madonna, like I'm waiting, I'm waiting for you, can you see I'm waiting, don't break my heart, or something like that. Waiting for you, I'm waiting, can't you see I'm waiting for you, don't break my heart. So I was okay. Are you making jokes from me? Okay, so this, for example, happened to me, and so I wanted to have a nap, so I was relaxing, feeling if I wouldn't feel Shayla, I was feeling again my root chakra and tailbone, but still not enough. Like energy was opening up, and then as I was trying to relax, I heard very close to me, like steps, and then breathing. It was like that animal. And I just got scared. It was almost like I jumped out of my body. My energy field, like from the root chakra, exploded in a way. My heart started to beating fast, heat and stuff. And I was trying to calm myself down. And okay, not even if the animal would be sniffing me, like okay, nothing is eating me yet. So I was trying to calm down and so on. It took a few seconds. And then I was okay, obviously I can try looking out that from like a sleeping bag, because I was protecting myself from mosquitoes. And so like uncovered myself, and I need to raise my head a little bit because there was a grass, and I saw her. It was the deer. She was so close, like I measured it afterwards, so it's like 1.5 meters, but the distance is like from this shoulder to the end of my arm. So that distance was like what she was, like how close she was. Interesting was that she didn't find strange the LED lights I was having around me. It was kind of like Christmas lights. So yeah, okay. And so I just lay down again back, and she was just eating, this bush there, just close to me. It was like a grass field, but every now and there was just this small like a bush, one plant, kind of like bush or trees, like very young trees, and she was eating that. And yeah, so then I lay down, and then she went away, and I was then still staring at her. And then when she was again, like, I don't know, it was even 5 meters probably away, she looked back. I didn't make any sound. I thought that she would notice me when I was staring at her when she was so close. And she didn't. She was like, and nothing. I was like, okay. And then when she was so far, she saw me somehow magically suddenly, and she got scared again like before. So it was like, and she ran away. So yeah, it's funny. And then so I was I was scared that it was big again. I'm not scared of deers, even if it would be male. I don't know, I'm not scared of them. I met deer when I was a kid once in the forest, and very close again. I don't know how it appeared there, just in front of me. And he just, we had a stare into each other's eyes, and he just then went, away. And yeah, when I was child, I think he was bigger than me even, and he had this, this stuff on his head. And so yeah, I sit down then, and I was still hearing some noises there. That sounded like maybe small pig or something, and so I was doing some sounds like or something, so it would hear that something is here and to avoid me, because so this was part of that experience that I was feeling like, okay, I am scared, I'm annoyed by this, I am not sure if I have guts for this and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I want to go home. So later, then nothing for the rest of the night happened with the animals. Probably she told the rest of them, like, don't go there, some human is sleeping there. And so yeah, nothing happened. And so yeah, then I was having like a period of staring at the sky, and then not, because mosquitoes. So I was covering myself with a sleeping bag, and also mosquitoes were not helping me to relax, so that's why I was regularly covering myself and to just relax and so on, and calling and stuff. And I don't know if I saw something like that spectacular, but I saw some things that I never seen before. I had this like probably maybe one or two, I don't know. It's like big flashes of light, but in my peripheral sight field. So I don't know, like, if they were really that strong that I saw them. And it was not like a plane, plane are also blinking, but when I look there, I see no plane is there, so something was definitely there. And it was not really, if I'm looking at this spot, it's very strong, very small area where I'm focused, and they could have been just a little, aside. It was not like completely away from my focus. So yeah, I still saw something. And then, for example, once there was, it was twice I saw this thing that I saw also some shooting stars, but this was like it was, the dynamic of it was like shooting star, but it was several times bigger, and like it just brightened really a lot. It was just I don't know, few milliseconds, made this like a and like really, it was, you know, like when shooting, when you see shooting star, it's just a line, very thin line, and this was like really like this, you know, like shape. It was really that like big, you know, and disappeared. So I saw that twice, and then once I saw like it looked like again like some stronger or something shooting star, but the line was much longer. It was like maybe at least 5 times longer than usually that I saw like a shooting star. So I'm not sure really like if it was or not a meteorite, if they can, you know, go through our sky, you know, with it like scratching like that, you know, sky, I mean atmosphere. So I'm not sure. And yeah, then I was also sleeping, and I was sleeping about spa, you know, and here also this is like island. It's called Spa Island. So I have a spa clothes, and also like old people walking around here. So I had a dream about spa, and I never had that kind of. Well, I did about pools and that kind of stuff. Yeah, wellness kind of like. So this was something similar, but I didn't have it like recently. So I had that kind of dream, and then I woke up like 2 times, like a false waking up I had. So I woke up, laying on a, you know, like grass where I was, and then buildings just behind me and stuff, and people walking, and I was like, how did they get here? Like, did aliens move me or something? And then someone, I don't know if it was this time or with the second false awakening, then there was someone again, like I appeared again at the same spot, like I disconnected from that in false awakening, and I was feeling my physical body, okay, I'm going to wake up, and again I woke up in the same like space. It looked very similar, at least. And then someone was telling me like, you were moved here because it was safer. And then I was like, okay. Okay, I woke up finally, and yeah, very bad. Also, it was quite warm. I thought I would be it would be cooler. Well, I knew that it would be like 22 degrees at night, but it can feel cold, you know. But no, it wasn't. It was probably even higher than that. And so I had like several layers or clothes for me, you know, also on me at the evening. And I also hood, so I could protect at least part of myself from mosquitoes. And I had to put it all away, and I ended up just in my underwear, you know, sleeping under the sleeping bag, and also ants, you know, walking on me and stuff. So they were tickling me, so I didn't have a very good sleep. So I was really irritated in the morning in a way, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this again. But after a few hours and stuff, and I was thinking about, yeah, I will give it another try, at least 2 or 3 times, max 3 times this summer. And so yeah, that's all what I wanted to share. So I don't know, I don't have any conclusion or end to this video, or yeah, so whatever. If you are interested or whatever, subscribe, hit the bell button, whatever the people are saying at the end of the videos, and follow me on Facebook if you want, whatever. I don't know. Have a nice day, and do some CE-5s maybe if you feel like to, want to have chance to do it somewhere. It's convenient for me right now because I have it like 20 minutes from where I live, the nature. So yeah, but there are a lot of bugs here, so it's very convenient. But yeah, those bugs are, you know, and animals and stuff, you know. Maybe when they are doing it in the desert, they don't have that much mosquitoes there. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, if I have some nice experience, you know, again this summer, that I will probably make a video about it. If you had some experiences, you can comment or make your own videos. Of course, just share it, because it helps, to spread awareness about it. Oh, plane. Can you hear it? Yeah, I bet. So I guess that's the end of my video with this plane going behind me somewhere. It's how is it? Airport. Yes. This is just small city, but with airports. My God, I never heard this here. Okay, whatever. So goodbye. I don't have anything more to say.